Today's episode is brought to you by DB. DB is a Scandinavian brand that makes backpacks and bags to help people on the move stay ready for anything. From the streets to the peaks, DB's gear is travel tested by some of the world's best athletes, adventurers, and creators. Over the past decade, DB has designed and developed, released, and refined the best bags in the market. With DB's patented hookup system, you are able to attach smaller products to your backpack, roller, or tote.
It's important to have the right bag for your travels and adventures, and DB has you covered. From the Nair duffel to the strong backpack, DB ensures you always have the right gear for your journey. We are teaming up with DB to exclusively offer our listeners 10% off your next purchase by using the code POD10 or going to the link in our show notes. DB, it's time to move on. Time to get going.
Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch bison's ass so hard that the next bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 285. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G Network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan. I can't believe he made more room. Robinson.
Listen, man, you know that's what I do. That's the nickname.
Mm-hmm.
I always find the... Listen, just life always finds a way. Like
Yeah.
Park,
Yeah.
It finds a way.
Malcolm. Yeah.
Dan finds a way.
Mm-hmm.
Dan finds a way. I have rearranged the game room. If you're in video and you see this behind me, it looks the same to you, but it's not the same because to the right of me, to the left of me, and to the further left of me, and to the further right of me, everything has been rearranged.
Nice.
In my basement. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can make any more room. I have a room for another 1,000 games, and then that's it.
Dan, I was saying that like 3 years ago, like you don't have enough room down there. And then the wizard, you're like the Tetris wizard of video games, right? You just make it all fit. And it looks beautiful. I gotta say. Kudos.
All right. So if you're watching a video, okay, directly behind me is the Wii games.
A little behind the scene. Oh yeah, I see him.
And directly behind
Gamecube?
my head is Gamecube.
I see him.
I do have new Gamecube games and new Wii games. Can't fit. Don't know where I'm gonna put them, and it sucks when it's like it can't fit, and you have like that one game. Where do you put that one Wii?
I know. It necessitates a whole new shelf. I've been there. I've been there.
Yes. Can't fit. It can't fit. I've rearranged everything. It can't fit. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
All right, no, you're gonna have to give it to me. I'll have to give it a good home because I have the extra shelf space.
No, that's okay. Well, no, that's okay.
I got you.
You got a whole wall to build the shelf on, and you still haven't done yet.
Well, I mean that costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money. But listen. It's an idea. It's an idea I'm definitely thinking about doing. But
this is Dave Moneybag Rotino right there.
It's not going to be that much money to put some shelves up. But The issue with it, so I have like I guess you call it a duplex or whatever, right? So it's a high vaulted cathedral style ceiling that comes to a point, you've been there a ton of times.
Money bags.
All right. The issue is you put the shelves up way high, you got to get to those shelves, which means you're going to have to build a Beauty and the Beast style library stepladder type thing to get up there, because you got to put the games up there.
Listen.
How else are you going to do it?
For your 60th birthday next year, I'm going to get you.
You're gonna go ahead and get me some shelves? Because I'll take it.
No,
I'll take it.
You a Mario 3 themed ladder that you could just like push up, and you gotta get on the ladder and climb up, so you can put the games on it.
I mean, as cool as that would be, and that would be super cool. I think I want to keep it like natural wood, like a dark cherry wood or something to match with everything else. I can't be going around with a Mario 3 ladder. As cool as that would be. You're
gonna have to put the ladder up somewhere, but when it's time to go on the shelf, you gotta pull the ladder out.
Wow, no. It'd be like a rolling ladder. That you
no. I'm gonna get you a regular ladder. I'm just gonna get you a regular ladder.
No. I don't want it.
Put Mario 3 stickers on.
I definitely don't want it. This just sounded more and more budget every day. Yeah, I'm gonna get you a DeWalt one for $40 from Home Depot, and I'm gonna slap some Mario stickers on the side. No. Okay.
I'm not gonna go get you a $40 ladder. Are you kidding me? No, I would never do that to you.
You're gonna give me a $20 ladder?
No, I wouldn't even do that, Dave. All right? I'm not going to spend any money on this ladder. My uncle left his ladder here. It has paint on it. I'm going to scrape the paint off, put some Mario 3 stickers on it, and now you have a Mario 3 themed ladder that you can just pull up.
I love the enthusiasm, but I'm going to have to gracefully decline on this birthday gift.
Okay. All right. Well, you only turned 60 once. So you're right behind my uncle. He's about to turn 70 this year.
So I gotta say, just quickly, because I found out about it today. There's a storm brewing. It's rolling through this weekend.
What do you live in? You live in Bermuda or something? It's not going to affect us. We're in New York.
No. A lot of the models are saying that it's going to come inward. A lot of the models are saying it's going to come inward. Now, it's not going to be as bad as Long Island, but we're going to get some high winds. We're going to get a ton of rain. Possible flooding. It seems like you're not worried about this. I'm a little worried.
Listen, if I lived in Hawaii or something, I would be worried. But no, we live in New York. When do we get hit with hurricanes? Sandy was like a once-in-a-lifetime event.
We get hit with hurricanes all the time. There was Hugo, there was Gloria, there was Irene, there was Sandy. I can keep going, Dan. I can keep going.
Other than Sandy, okay, everything else was like just a little,
No, Hugo and Gloria were like crazy.
Didn't do anything.
Irene was pretty crazy. This guy.
You live in Montauk? You live in a tip of Long Island? No, it's not gonna affect us.
Mister. All right. I'm gonna hold you to those words. When you come back and tell me, hey, I don't have power right now, I'll go, yeah, it's not that crazy. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't need to record. We can skip an episode.
I don't want you to lose power, but I kind of want you to lose power.
Whatever. You know what? If I lose power, guess what? If I lose power, I have more time to put the stickers on the damn ladder for you.
Oh, well, there you go. See, that would be appreciated.
Okay. What about the storm that's not going to affect us? What about it?
Nothing about it. I was just curious if you were worried about it, but you're.
I'm not worried about it.
All right.
Come on. Right. You know what I'm worried about? Listen. You know what I'm worried about? I'm gonna tell you what I'm worried about. Mm-hmm. I'm worried about playing Ghost of Tsushima, the director's cut, and going through this 10-hour campaign. Okay.
Oh yeah, you got some new content to go with.
That's what I'm worried about.
Well, there you go.
Now, does this count as game of the year? The director's cut? Does this count as game of the year? Can it be up for game of the year since it's so much new stuff? Right? It's upgraded for the PS5.
Are you posing that question now as like a hypothetical? Because I would say this is DLC on a disc, and the answer is no.
Get out of here,
Yes, DLC on a disc.
It is all new stuff.
Is Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade considered Game of the Year potential?
I would say yes. I would say yes.
I don't know. It's
Resident Evil. So play devil's advocate. Resident Evil. Was it 2? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil 2. It's the same game.
Well, it's not though. No.
Remade. It's the same game.
No, it's not. It's not.
Remade.
It's completely different.
Remade.
It's got some of the same story bits, but the gameplay is completely different.
Is not completely different. You know exactly what's going to happen. If you played the original and beat the original, you know exactly what's going to happen.
They changed up a lot of the events to play out a little bit differently. Plus the gameplay is completely different.
To get to point A and B in the story, is it not the same?
No.
It is the same. It's the same event. The ending is the same. The beginning is the same.
The story is the same, but that's only part of the experience. I don't know.
This is a 10-hour. They said it takes you 10. It takes you between 7 and 10 hours to beat the.
It's
story.
pretty meaty.
Brand new content.
It's pretty meaty, but we've never put up deals. No one's ever put up DLC as a Game of the Year contender.
You know what?
Is that not true though? Is that not true? Like I'm not trying to be oppositional, and you're making a very good point that
we're rebels. We're rebels here, man. We're trendsetters.
There is a lot of good.
G. Yeah. We don't follow trends. We make trends. Okay?
So what about
I guarantee you, when Death Stranding Director's Cut comes out, and Director's Cut seems to just be the theme that they want to go with, right? Right. That Kojima hates it. He had no say in what the name was going to be.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Yeah, that's a little weird.
Because we got Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and we got it was Final Fantasy VII Integrate, which I loved, by the way, and I'm gonna love this too. Come on, I think it's new. New. It's enough new.
You make a very new. You make a very strong point.
How about this? Before you go, how about this? History was made. History was made. I'm gonna say it 3 times, and you'll know why I say it 3 times. History was made with the Order 1886 because it was the only game.
That's rarefied air, Dan. It's rarefied air.
To be nominated for Game of the Year, not once.
That's right. It's a dynasty. It's a dynasty.
3 times. He was nominated for Game of the Year 3 times.
Yep.
The DLC is longer than that whole game.
I'm glad you finally agree. You can.
I'm not saying that's a negative.
No. I'm glad you agree. It's only a 5-hour game.
I'm not saying that's negative. I'm not saying it's negative. Okay, but this game, the director's cut, and maybe for Death Stranding too, because you love Death Stranding. Okay.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put that up
for the extra content, the extra story bits that they put in Death Stranding. Right, director's cut, which we don't know about, but for argument's sake, let's say it took 7 to 10 hours to beat the extra content on the director's cut of Death Stranding, just like Ghost of Tsushima.
Well,
right?
I mean,
would you not want to nominate it for Game of the Year?
Well, what kind of content is it, right?
Because you have the upgrades to PS5, right? You have the upgrades to PS5.
Well, that's
the integration of the DualSense.
A graphical update doesn't make that, I don't think,
and story bits. It's a 10. I mean, listen, anything that's more than 3 hours is its own damn game. I'm sorry.
Well, that you would have to factor in pretty much all the DLC for just about anything, right? When they put out DLC for The Witcher, that never got any high praise or nominations or anything, right?
Well, was it 10 hours? I think it was 3 hours. 3 hours.
Well, okay, so they put out I think 11 to 14 pieces of free additional content, which was a ton. And then they also did 2 paid DLCs, Iron and Blood and something else. And that was a whole nother game worth of content.
I know, but okay, so collectively it was maybe 10 hours.
Oh, it was well more than 10 hours. It was well more than 10 hours.
10 hours by itself.
It meets that criteria. I'm just saying past precedent.
Okay, so what's the criteria
past precedent
for game?
I don't know. I don't know.
What's the criteria for game of the year consideration, right? In my view, what to me, I didn't, okay, so a little behind the scenes. Let's peel back.
All right. Open the veil. Yeah. Peel back the curtain.
I was the one that was against putting remakes in Game of the Year.
I know.
Because because it's a game you already beat. It's a game you already know. And every story beat, every beat in the game, you already know. Okay.
Yeah.
If they put out a remake, let's say 5 to 10 years from now, they put a remake out of The Last of Us, the first one, right? Not a remaster, total remake, soup to nuts for the PS7.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, which would probably be when they do it.
And for the PS7 and whatever the new features are, right? Like VR is the thing, right? It pops up and you are Joel in The Last of Us.
Oh my God.
You can see through his eyes. That's the that's the gimmick of the PS7.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Right? I would personally be against it because I know what's going to happen. I know it's not a shocking thing. I know what they're going to do. I know where the story beats are going to go. I know everything about this world. It's not The Last of Us Part 3.
Sure.
Everything is brand new. It's
so what if they change the story bits around and they remix it?
If they change the story bits around slightly, but point A to point B are the same, it's still the same to me. If they change how I get from point A to point B, that doesn't matter because I know exactly
Well, that's what
in my view. Yeah. In my view.
That's what Final Fantasy VII Integrate was technically, right? Now, combat change from turn-based to real-time, story bits. The overarching story is there, but it's heavily remixed to where you learn about things that you wouldn't have known until way later on. This time are now like moved up and they kind of changed some stuff around. So it's I think there's enough new there. And I think you're making a good argument for Ghost of Tsushima, the new bits of content to be weighted on their own. I don't think it's fair to say, okay, here's a game and now here's a game with all this extra. I think maybe the Iki Island update should be weighed on its own merits. Maybe. Well, that's what I mean. No, I think that should be. I think that should be weighed on its own, maybe, because it's like it's a little unfair for a game that, let's say, Red Dead Redemption, right? Are we not going to put that up every year because they keep adding new content to it? Grand Theft Auto 5 with the online mode, they keep adding new content to it. Like Grand Theft Auto 5, they opened the casino like a year or two ago, right? Does that not put that in contention for, Game of the Year in a way? I mean, it could. I mean, I think what you're trying to say is that we shouldn't be so rigid with the rules of Game of the Year. It is new content. People did put a lot of time into it, right? Sucker Punch, right? It did a Sucker Punch, right?
Yes,
they put a hell of a ton of time into it.
We're going to talk about them later on in the show too.
And we need to recognize the work that they did for the edition. So I'm with you on that. It's just I guess the walls are breaking down of what can be nominated for Game of the Year. We're definitely seeing that now.
I'll get into another reason why I think in the future things like this will be Game of the Year, but before I do that, I got to tell you why I'm really excited, Dave. You want to know why I'm really excited?
Always.
I'll tell you why.
Always.
I'll tell you why. I finally got a Loft amiibo. The Legend of Zelda.
The Loft Wing. You got it.
Loft Wing amiibo. I got it. I swear, I was in GameStop today. I got it today. That's why I'm super happy. I got it today. It is off camera, so I don't want to get up and get it because it makes... Yeah, you just believe me. I have it. Check out Instagram. Pictures are on Instagram.
I trust you. That's fantastic.
I'm doing my my series, trying to find as many PS3 and 360 games at GameStop as I can while they still have it. And Wii, there's some gems. That's why I have 2 Wii games that can't fit behind me.
Telling you, man, I'll give them a good home. It's fine.
No, they have a good home, even if they're in the closet.
See, that's you gotta put them out on display.
So, but it was sitting there. It was so like floating in the air, but it wasn't really floating. It was just hanging on the shelf.
But it felt like there was the God ray.
It felt like it was floating. Yeah. I was like,
and you heard the angels in the background. You said, "Am I dead?
I heard something.
In heaven?
I heard something. I heard the Master Sword talk to me. It was like, listen, the Loft Wing amiibo is right here for you. Get it.
I think it was just a dude behind the counter saying, "Are you going to buy that? Are you going to buy that?"
One left. They had one left. And I asked. They said everybody should have it now. Like they're getting in stock. And I have the PS5 charging cradle.
Nice.
The for the DualSense.
Was that hard to get?
That was been sold out since launch.
Oh, I didn't think anyone was clamoring for it, but okay.
I've been clamoring for it. My DualSense, they've just been sitting here. Now I have a place to put them.
There you go. Your collection is now complete.
Now I have a place to put them.
Collection is now complete.
If you go to PlayStation Direct, I don't know if anywhere else has them. But if you go to PlayStation Direct, they still have them in stock. So if you're a collector, go to PlayStation Direct. They have them in stock. Okay. As of the recording of this show, I don't know if, when the show goes up. I don't know if they still have them.
Yeah. Well, don't get me started on the PlayStation Store, because I tried. I didn't actually tell you about this yet. I tried yesterday to get a PS5. Denied. Couldn't get it. You should have told
me. I'm a PlayStation card member.
Yeah.
So I get dibs early. I tried to get it. I wasn't watching it like an eagle.
Yeah.
But when maybe like 30 minutes after it went live, I checked and it was like sold out. So if you would have told me,
well, It was like they put you in a queue, right? And this is bad, because this is the best system that we have available for getting systems, right?
We have better systems. They just don't implement them. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think we do. Nobody's got anything out there.
GameStop. If you're a GameStop member, you get first dibs.
Yeah, and you also got to pay $800. This was $5 straight up. This was even.
You get games, you get a controller, you get PlayStation.
You have to pay for those games. They're just adding them to the bill.
Dave, you're gonna buy games when you get the system. Okay?
Not the games that they're packing in with it.
Listen, you know what?
I want Returnal. Can I get a bundle with Returnal? I want 2K21. I'm never gonna play it.
Well, maybe you should play. Maybe you should play Madden 22.
I played the demo with 2K21. It was perfectly fine.
Maybe you should play it.
Anyway, they dump you in a queue, right? They use a third-party thing to queue everybody up, and they log your computer and your status by, like, I don't know, a cookie or a token or whatever. So even if you, like, refresh or open up another window or whatever, you're still in the queue. And, it was like, all right, you're like an hour out, right? I was a couple minutes late to the party. And even before the queue ended, I didn't realize this till after the queue, after I got up to the number one spot, they were already sold out. So I'm sitting in the queue. The thing doesn't update quick enough. So you're sitting there waiting. And then by the time you get in, it's like already sold out. Stupid.
Well, you should have told me. Okay, you should have told me.
Now I know.
I could have helped.
I know. Yeah, they probably were sold out by the time I even got on the queue.
You gotta watch these things like a hawk. Listen,
I'm aware. Yeah.
I watched GameStop like a hawk. I got their bundle, and it was sold out. See, it gets sold out in like 2 seconds or 2 minutes. When it goes without a bundle. When it's a bundle, it gets sold out in 20 minutes. So
right, you get a little bit more time, because people are like, do I really want 2K21? And they end up buying it.
Scalpers aren't buying it. Regular people are. It's like, I had to decide, did I really want Hitman 3 again for
exactly, because you already have it for Xbox. Yeah.
No. The other way around. I had it for PlayStation. Did I really want it for the Xbox? Did I want Control for the Xbox? Yes, I do. Screw it. I'll take it. I take it.
Shit. Yeah, it's fucked up. So, I can't believe that's the state of things, right? And it's
gonna be like that way for the OLED. It's gonna be that way for the OLED screen.
I mean, I hope not, but you're probably right. But it's just terrible.
Dave, we've already been recording for like an hour. Let's get this show on the road. We have an awesome show this week. We're going to talk about Souja Boy.
Oh!
I don't want to talk about Souja Boy, but he's in the news.
Doing my Superman dance.
You like that? Superman dance. All right.
I'm taking it back to 2006.
I may have the. That's when music went to shits, but that's another story. I may have the kryptonite for your Souja Boy. Superman
my god!
And then we're going to talk about
Superman.
We're going to talk about the Halo Infinite leak.
Oh.
Okay. But let's begin. Before we get into all that, let's begin the show with EA issuing a statement about them delisting classic old school PC games. Earlier this month, they had delisted a bunch of like classic PC games on GOG, right?
Yep.
Like, was it the Ultima series, Ultima Underworld, Ultima Underworld 2, and Syndicate Plus and Syndicate Wars? Didn't even know they owned those games, right? It's been so long. I totally forgot that EA owned those games.
Yeah, well, EA bought Origin Systems, which was like Richard Garriott's company, I think, who made the Ultima games. They published Syndicate and Syndicate Wars, which were Bullfrog games, which got enveloped into EA, I think. But yeah, these are going back like old school. Like Syndicate was 93. Syndicate Wars 97, maybe 98.
Well, the first one was when I was still a PC gamer.
Yeah.
You know, back
classic,
in the days, but
classic cyberpunk action game. Yeah.
So they delisted them. No matter, listen, when anything gets delisted, look at DuckTales, right? People go crazy. Why are you doing it? They brought it back. Okay, they're actually free to play on GOG until September 3rd, I believe. It was like early September, right? So they pretty much just said, we didn't know the fans really wanted these games. Like, like they made a mistake. We don't know what they're going to do going forward, but I just want to say, for everyone who doesn't care about physical games, this is why physical games matter. Because when a publisher delists the game, that game is gone until they feel like putting it back. Okay? It's gone. It's over. It's done. Dunzo. It's over.
Yeah. So. It's I have questions about this because one, I should say that I got an email from GOG because I'm signed up for their newsletter or whatever, right? It's where I loaded up to play Cyberpunk, and I have a couple old school games on there. And they've always been great, right? They're a company that doesn't have DRM in their downloads. You can just, like any of the games that you buy, you can just get it and play it.
As non-PC gamers, what the hell is GOG? Like, is it GM? Is it like GMG, Grown Man Gamer? What does GOG stand for?
Good old games.
Okay.
It's just good old games. Yeah, it started off as like an abandonware style hub where like you could play games from way back in the day and they'd make them work on modern hardware and all that. So it was like really cool. And they've kind of continued that same process, still to this day. You can famously, like The Witcher was through GOG, and also Cyberpunk, which is the same company, CD Projekt Red. You can get The Witcher through GOG. You can get it through other places too, I think. But they were always on there, and they were always kind of like DRM free. You just download the game, play it, it's yours, right? And, it's a really good service. I don't think they've had any controversy, really. But the thing that gets me is, like, I was reading the story too, and EA didn't give any reason as to why they took it down, right? Because as far as I understand it, Ultima and Syndicate and whatever, they've been patched and updated so that you can download them and play them on your current computer, right? You got a Windows 8.1, Windows 10 system or whatever, Mac, Linux. It should work, right? It'll tell you what it's compatible with. And these are games that were around when Windows 3.1 was a thing or Windows 95 was a thing. Very different landscape, right? So I'm curious why EA is like, hey, we want to go ahead and take these down. Like,
I could tell you. That's easy. That's easy.
Okay.
It's easy. If you don't know, I can tell you.
Okay.
Because as soon as they take them down and then put them back up, the sales will skyrocket 40%. Right?
Well,
like, oh my God, I gotta buy this before they take it down again.
Right.
These are the games are over 30 years old, right? Like you were in college when these games first came out.
93 was, well, the Ultima games are a little bit older too. 91, 92, maybe Underworld games.
Basically, you were a senior in college when these games came out. So
are you advocating for this then? I mean,
no, I'm just telling you why. Like people didn't care about it.
No.
Okay,
Well, no.
look
They
at-
did because everybody outcried over it.
Nobody
you know?
cared about it until it got delisted. And
Disagree.
Then probably,
No.
and then they put it. As soon as they put it back, sales, I guarantee you, went up, and it worked. Right? It's a business strategy.
I think some people may have bought it.
DuckTales. Look at DuckTales. As soon as they took it out, they put it back. It got delisted. They put it back. Sales went up. Right? Retro sales went up too. Right? And that's why they put it back, because they said no, we don't want the retro sales to go up because we're not getting a piece of that. Let's put the digital. Let's put it back so we can get a piece of the digital sales.
I mean I don't want to say unintended consequence, but it only went up because people realized, hey, this isn't going to be around forever. All right.
Yeah. That's exactly why.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to buy a game just to buy it. You're going to buy a game to play it, right? People loved it, and the outcry was strong.
If I was a PC
the outcry
gamer,
was strong.
If I was a PC gamer and I didn't own this, right? Because I probably wouldn't have owned it. I would as soon as they put it back, I would buy it just to have it so I can always. Why are we collectors? Yes, it looks great
to play games. We're collectors to play games.
It does look great on the shelf, but we buy it so we can have easy access to it, right? I haven't played. There's not a collector in this world that's played every game in their collection.
No,
Why?
but you buy a game with the intent on playing it, right?
Yeah,
mostly
people buy it. I would buy these games if I was a PC gamer. I would buy these games and just have them right digitally, ready to play. If I ever felt like trying them, I
mean that's a tall order when there's hundreds of thousands of video games out there. You know, it's it's hard to say.
It's like whenever you tell a child you can't have something, right? Or tell anyone you can't have something, they want it more.
Yeah. I mean, for a little while, sure, but
little
I don't
Samson,
know.
I think
you do this enough times, and people are going to throw their hands up and say, well, "I'm done with EA."
But you can't do this like every 2 years or something like that. Like
they do it all the time. I mean, they delist games left and right.
You have to do it. You have to give it a significant amount of time. We're gonna have this discussion again, 5, 6, 7 years from now, when they delist it and people go crazy, and then it goes back, and the sales go up.
It's just I don't think the amount of money they made versus the amount of negative press they got was worth it.
I don't think they got a lot of negative press. I don't think anybody really cared that much for it. They got
100%. I think they do. I think people do. Because everybody outcried over it. Everybody said, "Hey, we want this stuff back," and then EA kowtowed. So that just proves the rule.
Why don't you ask Activision what negative press is? That's negative press. This isn't negative.
Well, and it's definitely hurting their bottom line. You know,
this isn't negative press.
Oh, right. I don't think it's a good look. I don't know.
I don't think it's a look at all. I don't think anybody cared, right? Listen.
Well, they did though.
As soon as they brought it back, nobody cared.
Well, because people made the outcry. You're not gonna you can't say EA bring back more games. Bring back the games that you just delisted, and they did that. And then maybe some people bought them.
Listen, they brought it back. And I think this was a strategic business move. Okay, and it was brilliant because it worked. Right, sales. I'm sure sales went up.
Well, I would love to see those numbers of how much they sold in the last, because this is
I'm not selling
recent.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it sold Cyberpunk numbers, but I mean,
well,
it sold more. It sold more than it would have if they would have never delisted it. I'll tell you that.
I mean, maybe.
So maybe. Let's shift gears.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, if you're a collector, get the physical if they have one, right? Best Buy had Cyberpunk 2077 dirt cheap. They had it for $10 for a couple of days. It's back to $40 now, okay? Amazon had it for $15. It's back to $40, $39.99. Keep an eye out on this, okay? Sony, until last month, had it delisted.
Wow, because it was unplayable.
Because it was unplayable if you had a PS4. If you had a PS5, you were okay.
Yeah, exactly. It was okay on a Pro,
Yeah. So, if you're a collector, make sure you keep an eye out on Cyberpunk. Get it for every system. I should have got it. I sold it for $15. I didn't know about the $10 from Best Buy until I was trying to create the show. I did know it was $15 on Amazon, like a week ago. So this holiday season, guarantee you, Cyberpunk is going to be super cheap. I already have it for the PS4. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it for the Xbox as well.
Do you think they're gonna stop producing physical copies of Cyberpunk anytime soon?
They had so many returns. There's going to be physical copies out there all the time.
Yeah.
But will it be $10 brand new? Probably not. So after get it while you can. Okay. Also, we had Quakecon recently, right?
Yep.
Like that happened last week.
Yeah.
Quakecon. It's
Huge.
funny. It's funny. We had Quakecon. That's huge, right? I don't
is.
want to do the accent.
I wasn't trying to do that. I was just saying it's a big conference.
It's huge. Quakecon is huge. However, it's funny how we have a QuakeCon, but we never have a new Quake game in some time. It's been many, many, many years since we had a Quake game. That's like saying we had a Cyberpunk conference with no Cyberpunk game for like a decade.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we had Champions a few years ago, to be fair, but prior to that...
That was more than a few years ago.
2018. 2018?
All right, well, what about before that?
There was a long period, because the game before that was Quake 4, which was like a 10-year stint.
Yes.
People love Quake.
We have. Listen, I loved Quake 2 back when I was a PC gamer. That tells you how long ago the original Quake was. So we have Quake is back, baby. Okay, they announced it at QuakeCon, right? It's a part of Games Pass, I believe. Right.
Yep.
You can play it on any console, PlayStation, right? Switch, PC, Xbox, and you can play with all your friends. And it's getting a physical edition.
Yep.
Right? They remastered the original Quake, the PC version, by the way. They remastered the PC version. That's exciting news. Limited Run's putting it out.
Did they not
I'm going to get it.
Did they not remaster the PS4, Switch, and Xbox?
But they remastered the original PC Quake that will be out
for the other systems. Yeah.
For the other systems.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it running. Have you seen any video of it? Because it looks beautiful.
It looks amazing. It makes me want a remake of it. I mean, we talked about the remake for Resident Evil 2, right? Like I want a remake for Quake. I want a remake for Doom. The original Doom game. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I secretly want a remake for Duke Nukem too, because I love that game. I love Duke Nukem.
The original Duke Nukem would be fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be all right.
That would be awesome.
Right.
Are you gonna pick up the physical edition when it comes to?
Are you kidding me? Yes. 100% up and down. Yeah, I'm getting like the full on everything. Quake was amazing.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna get the physical edition for the Switch. I'm not gonna get the soup to nuts special edition.
Oh yeah, trust me, I'm getting the little 9 Inch Nails box, and I'm probably gonna get the vinyl. Actually, the vinyl's out already. You can get the vinyl soundtrack from Trent Reznor on his website. I think it's a two LP set for like I don't know, maybe $40 or $50 or whatever it is. Awesome, yeah, 100%.
So, Dave, as we always try to start the show but epically fail, what have you been playing?
Oh, well, the boat has sailed then. I beat The Ascent. I beat it.
Now, let me ask you a question. Wait, before you tell me, did you play with anybody else?
No.
Wow.
Everyone was like, yeah, I'm interested in the game. I'll play. And then nobody came to the table, so I just kept going.
I heard this was a game that was like really hard to play by yourself. You really needed to get friends to come in and play this game to beat it.
It certainly would have helped. There were some points where I had to go back and grind out a little bit to get my level up. Because you just get swarmed with enemies, and you got to really do crowd control. You got to keep moving. It was tough. I didn't realize it was the end of the game. It kind of ended a little bit. I mean, it tied it up, sure. I think the ending was a little bit anticlimactic.
So you beat it and didn't know you beat it, basically.
No. You beat the game. I didn't realize I was at the end battle. Yeah, I didn't.
That's what I'm saying. You beat it. You beat it,
yeah.
and then you're like,
That's it?
Really?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Now you do get thrown right back into the game after the credits, and you can do like extra missions and all that. Yeah, I don't know. Like I kind of liked the story. It was kind of cool. It was pretty simple for what it was, but it didn't have the big oomph at the end. You know, there wasn't like it did the thing, and then there was some exposition. That was it. You know, it was a very like everything else about the game. Graphics are amazing. The atmosphere is amazing. The soundtrack's amazing. The gameplay is tight. Right, it's a good game. Highly recommended, but story was a little lackluster.
Okay.
I'll say that.
All right.
But a good game.
I actually played the prototype, the original prototype I played it on the Xbox 360.
The prototype of what?
That's the name of the game, Prototype.
Yeah, right. You played the prototype of
It was a prototype of a good game because it's
you're talking about the game that's called Prototype, not a prototype.
It was a prototype. It was a prototype of a good game.
It was a prototype of Infamous, apparently.
Yeah, it was an actual good game. I actually played about maybe 4 hours of it because I was trying to see if I wanted to actually play it for our Saturday morning retro show that we do. We do it. We post last Saturday of every month because where we do a deep dive into our collection. But this game was. It had a lot of good points. Like it had a lot of good. It was a good. I don't even want to say skeleton because a lot of the mechanics could use some tweaking. But okay, you know what? It had a better story in my view than Infamous. But Infamous was a vastly superior game.
So better story, but not better than the gameplay of Infamous.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. Everybody in New York City, because it took place in New York City. By the
right.
way, I don't know what these games have against Third Avenue. All the Spider-Man games don't have Third Avenue. Prototype doesn't have Third Avenue. Are they allergic with Third? Why? What's wrong with having my job? Okay, what's wrong with having my job in the damn game?
Dan's a little hurt.
Yes,
Third Avenue is lackluster.
I'm shaking the video. I'm shaking the video because I'm shaking the desk because my camera's vibrating because it needs to vibrate. Because why isn't my building in the game? I know it's not a 1-to-1 comparison. Okay.
It never is. New York
why
is always
is
truncated.
Third Avenue not in the game? Third Avenue is not in the game.
I'm gonna tell you why, and it's a sad fact that Third Avenue isn't as iconic as like a Park, or a Times Square, or a Union Square, or Wall Street. That's the sad thing about it. Like you look Avenue A. Not really like, Avenue D over by the water, you got the water right there. So you're going to get the highway maybe in Avenue D. All the stuff in the middle kind of gets lost. 17th Street, that goes crosstown? Nah, it's not going to be in there.
Let me ask you a question.
It's lackluster, Dan.
Let me ask you a question.
Lackluster.
Let me ask you a question, Dave. The real question. What's between 3rd Avenue and 4th Avenue?
What, Lexington?
What's between 3rd Avenue and 2nd Avenue? I just want to know what's between
Absolutely
2nd
nothing.
Avenue.
Absolutely nothing. They
Between
got to make
2nd
cuts,
Avenue?
though. They got to make cuts.
What's between 2nd Avenue and 4th Avenue?
I don't know. Because I use Spider-Man to get around, and they don't have it mapped out, so I don't know.
No, I'm telling you.
Is it 3rd Avenue? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
3rd Avenue is a staple in New York. Okay, it's a staple.
I mean, there's nothing on that. To be fair,
it's a major avenue.
Oh.
Okay, nobody cares about 1st Avenue. Nobody cares about 2nd Avenue. People care. There is no 4th Avenue. It's all the way downtown. Everybody cares about 3rd Avenue.
Park is 4th Avenue. Yeah.
3rd Avenue. People care about 3rd Avenue. It's an important staple in New York, and these games just can't get it right. I'm sorry. I'm pissed.
Well, you know what it is though. Like I know why they truncate it, and it makes me angry too because you want it to be a 1-to-1 scale.
Truncate Lexington Avenue. Well, not Third Avenue.
You're just upset because you can't go to your
I can't go to my building. I can't go to my building.
Listen. Okay. I couldn't go to my work in Spider-Man, so it wasn't there. It wasn't there. So I get it.
All right.
I get it.
So on that note, why don't we take a break?
Mm-hmm.
And when we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of last week. And we're back. Let's get into the top gaming news of last week. We have to start with our lead story, and I never thought I would ever in my life say this, but we're going to start by talking about Souja Boy.
Oh, not the first time he's come up in the news.
No, but I never thought he would be a lead story. I mean, that tells you, it's been a slow news week in the summer, right? So Souja Boy is in the news because he has claimed that he is now the new owner and CEO of Atari. I think it was an IG post, he claimed that, Atari executives were impressed with his Souja Boy Games business and that he's selling Souja Boy Games for like $130 million. And they partnered up with him and made like 3 side deals, and he is now the owner and CEO. He had the Atari shirt. He's changed his Twitter account to CEO of Atari. But there's a funny thing that happened along the way to this, right?
No, wait. Before you get into that, this is the same Souja Boy that tried to present like a knockoff Chinese handheld system with like a ton of games on it as his own?
No. Come on, Dave. Come on. No. It's the same Souja Boy who tried to knock off a Chinese handheld system with a bunch of knockoff games as his own and a knockoff kind of Xbox looking console with PlayStation controller with a bunch of knockoff games.
That's right. Wow. Yeah.
So
he went all in on that.
It wasn't just one, it was 2.
Yeah, that's right.
System.
There was a PlayStation handheld thing and then the Xbox looking console, and they had a ton of illegal ROMs on there.
Yes.
Okay. So, just making sure we're talking about the same dude.
Same dude. However, somebody forgot to tell Atari that they had a new CEO because they tweeted, "No, we have the same CEO that we've always had." Mm-hmm. If you're a little confused, Atari is broken up into 2 separate companies, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, you can 1000% add us at Rated G for Gamers on Twitter. But it is they're separated into the hardware and software, right? So the hardware company that owns the rights to sort of the look of Atari, of the original Atari system, and they own like a handful of like games like Centipede and Defender, I think. And that's the same Atari that came out with the Atari VCS system that you can now buy. That you can now buy in Best Buy, which, now to think about it, maybe they are in bed with Souja Boy, because that's a ripoff, just like those Chinese knockoffs. Ooh. Right? Like, who would spend all that money for an Atari digital only system, right? Where you can pretty much hack, and it's a glorified Ouya. By the way,
hey, it's got that fancy wood grain, right?
It does.
It looks nice.
But they also have the rights to Atari name to do other things like hotels and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Like that whole Vegas hotel strip with the Atari, the Atari aesthetic and look and name and logo. They have the right to that, and they made that deal, I think. I'm pretty sure. And then you have the Atari software division where they have all the other IPs that they own, and they made all the modern games on a GameCube, PS2, PlayStation, Wii U, and even probably till this day, right? Well, no, I don't know when the last game made by the Atari software company, but they made all the games, sort of all the 2010 games. So, which Atari does he own? He doesn't clarify. and I don't even think he owns Atari. I think this is a total publicity stunt just for him to get in the news.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I don't know why he would go out and say, hey, I just bought this company. Because the company's going to clap back and be like,
It's funny how he didn't say he bought them, but then he said he made a deal, and then he said he owned them. So how does that work, right?
I don't know.
And then he doesn't know how much he bought them, like how much he invested, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't. It just doesn't make sense. First of all,
It's an undisclosed amount of money, Dan.
If someone buys Rated G, they gotta know how much they paid for Rated G and say how much they paid for it.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Right? You're not gonna say I made a deal with Rated G for gamers, and now I'm the CEO. That's not how that works.
No, it's always for X amount of dollars. Usually an M or a B at the end of that number.
You don't say, "Hey, I'm partnering with them, and now I own them, and I'm the CEO." No, I bought them.
Yeah.
I bought them flat out.
Right.
Now, we made fun of Atari VCS for many years. Right?
We haven't stopped.
We haven't stopped. However, I would rather buy an Atari VCS than buy any of the Souja Boy clone consoles, right? With the knockoffs.
Yep, I would agree, because at least the VCS kind of looks nice.
And
at least it's got a UI. At least it's legal.
And you know what? I can play Centipede in 4K, a brand new game.
There you go.
So, as of this show, again, the Atari VCS has tweeted they have the same CEO they've always had, right? So, don't mind us if this show goes live and Souja Boy has been proven wrong. Don't be surprised. So let's transition from a joke to something that we also don't take seriously, right? And that is Pokemon. I'm sorry.
That you speak for yourself. I would not say that about the beloved.
Yes, you do. No, don't put all the blame on me. We collectively do not take Pokemon seriously.
Well, taking it seriously is the wrong word. Am I into the series and all that? No, but I understand it's a huge cultural touchstone in gaming history.
I understand how big Pokemon is.
It's huge, man.
I understand.
It's one of the top selling franchises in the world.
Just like there are PC nerds, I know there are Pokemon nerds.
Oh yeah.
I remember drunk night in Brooklyn, Sheepshead Bay, driving home and seeing people legit 2 a.m. people running I want to say running in the street, but in the street, and I'm like, get the hell out of the way before you get hit. And it's a red light, so now I got to stop, and I'm looking, and they're playing Pokemon Go.
Listen, they gotta get that. They gotta get that Porygon, man. It's a rare get.
But we both don't care about Pokemon.
Oh no,
we know how big it is,
no.
but we don't care about Pokemon. But Pokemon did have a Pokemon Presents, which is a Pokemon Direct, where they highlighted a few things. I don't want to go through every little thing.
Yeah,
but
there was a lot in here, though. To be fair. There was a lot in here.
If you're a Pokemon fan, you will salivate over the Pokemon Presents, and I suggest you go watch the 30-minute video. But I just want to highlight some of the key points. I mean, we got Pokemon Unite, which is now heading to mobile in September, right? I don't know what the Pokemon Unite game is, but apparently it's a game that people really like, and
it's on the Switch, and it has
it's on the Switch, but I don't think
crossplay, which is nice.
I don't think it's gonna overtake Pokemon Go, which I still think is like the number one Pokemon mobile game, right? Because people, again, drunk night, people are all going all places to get the Switch. All right, listen, if North Korea wants more attention and wants positive attention, they should have some unique Pokemon that Pokemon Go should have, and more people will go to North Korea. That's how powerful Pokemon is. People will go to North Korea to capture the Pokemon.
You wait, North Korea? Wow.
I guarantee
Okay.
you.
Hot takes
I
from Dan
guarantee
Robinson
you.
over here.
I guarantee you. That's how popular Pokemon is.
I mean, if they did that, I'm sure some crazy people would definitely go for that.
They would.
Yeah, apparently Pokemon Unite is like a MOBA in the way that like League of Legends is, I think. And now we're getting a mobile version, which is like Switch compatible. So it seems cool. That seems kind of cool.
So then we got a Pokemon Cafe Mix, which is a free-to-play puzzle game. It's a touch-based puzzle game that's on the Switch that's now being rebranded and revamped and renamed. The Triple R, right?
There you go.
Rebranded, revamped, and renamed. As Pokemon Cafe Remix.
Okay.
How many popular Pokemon mobile games can they have? Man, it's. I didn't know they had this many damn Pokemon different games and different genres. I'm just waiting for the Pokemon action platformer that they're gonna put out. I actually would play that and enjoy it. By the way.
There has to be some sort of action-y version of that where you play as Pikachu or something.
No.
What do you mean, no?
If they did, we would be talking about it and playing it. It would be popular.
It's probably from back in the day. I bet you there's something out there.
No. And then they talked about a new Pokemon Legends game.
Right.
That mixes up the battles with 4 different Pokemon. Don't care.
I can sense the apathy in your voice, Dad. Look, we know this stuff isn't for us, but I think the biggest thing to come out of it is the remake of Diamond and Pearl. Right? Fans get the new versions of that, which I think is the big thing.
But the big thing is we got a new Pokemon themed Switch Lite. And I think Nintendo has missed the mark with this, right?
Oh,
because the Switch Lite,
yeah.
The Switch Lite has, and it's launching November 5th. The Switch Lite has taken over for the 3DS when having special editions. Like I would buy this. Like I would buy this Switch Lite, right? Because it's like the new thing. I want a Mario or a Zelda themed. I don't want a Pokemon. Come up with a different theme. So far, they've only come out with 2 Pokemon themed Switch Lites, right?
I know.
That's so weird. No. Come out with different themes. This is the new 3DS. You've discontinued the 3DS. This has taken the place of the 3DS. Come out with different themed Switch Lites, and I would get into it and buy it.
They may do one for Metroid. We'll see.
I don't think so. I think they would have announced it by now.
Yeah,
honestly.
You don't think there's going to be some like September, late September launch? Hey, we're also launching.
I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think so. I think they would have announced it by now.
All right, we'll see. We'll see, because that'd be a thing that
I would have bought it. I would buy it. I bought the Legend.
Yeah, everyone would buy it, Dan. Everyone would buy it. It's a license to print money.
It's the original Switch Lite when Zelda came out, right?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So let's talk about Sony. Let's talk about PlayStation. Let's talk about PlayStation exclusives and PlayStation IP. Something I never thought we would talk about as sort of a main story. There's a new leak out saying that we may be getting a Sly Cooper 5, and it's in development, right? From Sucker Punch.
Yeah. We talked about them earlier. They Ghost of Tsushima is their latest outing. They just put the Director's Cut edition out.
But they have Sly Cooper 5. You didn't even know there was a 4th one, which
I thought there was just the 3. Yeah, and
the trilogy,
the remasters.
The trilogy came out on the original PS2.
Right.
They put the trilogy out as a collection on the Vita and on the PS3. And
I
then
remember all that.
And then Sly Cooper, the 4th one, came out on the Vita and the PS3. And it didn't do so well. So it is. My question, let me phrase it this way.
Okay.
Do you think people want a Sly 5? Right? I mean, the sort of that mascot platformer sort of ended with the PS3 360 generation, right? Where we got more so into first-person shooters. That became like the dominant.
Oh, sure.
Genre.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They definitely fell out of vogue for sure.
Yeah, when that started, it was still the mascot platformer was like
the 3D mascot
dominating.
platformer, yeah.
That was like the dominating game, and that transition to the 3D, the first person shooter. Is there room for that? I mean, we got Ratchet and Clank the remake.
Yeah,
on the PS4, and then we got the new one in the PS5.
That was the thing I was going to bring up. We got the new Ratchet and Clank, and it's selling like gangbusters. So I would say, like, I think the first 3 games were great. I think fans love them. They like the remaster. I don't think anyone has any animosity for the series. And I've heard some people say that, like, getting a new Sly Cooper would be cool. So, I mean, I think it's a good move.
If that's the case, we need Jack and Daxter, right? We need Jack and Daxter too.
Yes. Well, that's a Naughty Dog property. So
the new Ratchet and Clank game is like it's like nominated for Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
So that. Do you think the the mascot platform is making sort of a comeback? Right? Maybe it was just too saturated and we got too many of them. We needed to diversify and make it better with new mechanics, better story. Story is the thing. I think is story. So story is a thing of that's the thing that really became prevalent in last generation, at least to me, in the PlayStation ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So Sly Cooper 5 had like a better story. I love the story of Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart for the PS5. Right? With the new character and how that worked, and I don't want to spoil it for you because I know when you eventually get a PS5, I'm going to highly recommend you play this game and beat it and see the dynamic with the new characters and see why, it's like, wow.
Come like
trust any, this. Should she be so trusting, right?
Come like 2025, I'll let you know how I feel about the game.
Well, you know what? You get a lot of games.
That's what I'm going to get by PlayStation.
You get a lot of games on discount. So, do you think the action platform is making a comeback, or it can make a comeback?
Well, I'm
not saying it be the dominant, genre, but can it make a comeback where it's like super popular and it can be nominated for Game of the Year and actually win it?
Look at your Ratchet and Clank. Is that not like? I mean, the genre's not outdated, 3D games are alive and well. Sly Cooper's a known property. Sure, 100%. I mean, we had Ukulele and a couple other games that came out.
Ukulele's a little off. Not gonna lie.
Well, no, but I mean, like, they went through the trouble to make a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, They wanted it to hit the mark, and it just didn't quite get there, but they spent the money to put that game together, So I definitely think there's room for it. Are they going to make it? Maybe. I don't know if Sucker Punch is going to be at the helm, because I know we were talking about it before the show. I think you said that they didn't do Part 4.
I don't think they did Part 4, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But I know Part 4 wasn't well received as the first 3.
Right. And if that is the case, and if Sucker Punch didn't do it, that would kind of make sense for the kind of dip in quality. But Sucker Punch is killing it right now. Ghosts of Tsushima is on everybody's favorites list. So for them to follow it up with a sequel to Sly Cooper, I could see it.
Sanzura Games was the developer.
I have never heard of them.
For Sly Cooper 4.
Okay.
On Sanzura Games.
Jesus.
Yeah. So they did not develop Sly Cooper. They did the trilogy, and then they had another studio do the 4th one.
Right.
So
damn.
I'm looking forward to it. I think if they, they sort of teased the mascot platform by doing a remake, and I think that was sort of on the PS4, that was sort of like an experiment to see how people will receive the original Ratchet and Clank game, and it was received well. I think this opens a door for Sly Cooper and Jack and Daxter, which are, they lost Crash Bandicoot and they lost Spyro, right? Activision.
Yeah, it's Activision.
Own those IPs, but they still have Jack and Daxter and Sly Cooper. With the success for Jack and Daxter, that opens the door to make a comeback, right?
Yeah.
We could. They tried to do something different and new with I can't think of the name. You make fun of me all the time for playing this game. And then the second one
I
came
mean,
out.
it's not really narrowing it down too much, but
Oh, come on! What was the one of the launch games of the PS4?
oh, Knack.
Knack, yes. They try to come back with Knack and Knack 2. The story's okay. I like the story. Okay, gameplay not as good.
You don't need to defend Knack to me, Dan. I understand it's a very mediocre game that
It's
they made
a really good
sequel
game. Just that it could, Knack 2 could set your PS4 on fire.
Yeah. That's a feature, not a bug. You can use it as a heating element inside your house during those cold winter months.
You know what? Listen, you know how I say only play Knack 2 during the wintertime. It brings heat to your house. Jack and Daxter, right? Jack and Daxter and Sly Cooper could be next on a list to get remakes, not remasters, remakes. Soup the nuts. And actually, I think those games would be more suited to take advantage of the DualSense and everything, the DualSense, all the bells and whistles.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the DualSense will make more sense, no pun intended, right? Because they would work directly with those games.
Yeah. I think you could have some sort of stealth meter built into the controller with the DualSense stuff. You could do a lot of cool stuff with that. And it would be less of a gimmick and more of like a gameplay feature in a way.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, all right, so let's transition to Xbox. And this is breaking news for the show for you, Dave. Not for when the show goes live, because everyone's going to know when the show goes live. We did the run a show, and I had to change it because we were going to talk about the Halo Infinite leak.
Well, we can still talk about that too, yeah.
Which we will, but breaking news, it looks like Halo Infinite will launch without campaign co-op or Forge.
Oh yeah. It's
like
3 months.
That just happened.
Yeah, it's 3 months out for co-op, I think, and 6 months out for Forge.
Yes.
So they're gonna build it. And they are building it. It's just not going to be ready for prime time.
So it's not ready. Instead of putting a half-ass features out, they're just going to pull it and put it out later on. When I first read this story, I thought they were going to put a pause on a campaign. That's how I read it at first.
Right,
but
yeah. Because you read campaign and it's like, oh no.
So well then I'm out, and it can't be considered game of the year. However, no, the campaign is going to be out, but me and Dave can't play it together. I'm going to have to just beat it by myself.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume that they weren't ever planning on doing couch co-op with this. Plus,
you can't do any. Yeah, you can't do split screen online anything.
I don't even think the game is going to have couch co-op when the game launches, because it's probably going to use all the processing power to render out the one screen of Master Chief. So, yeah, probably just the online thing. I really wanted to play this co-op, but sad that it won't be. I'm going to have to play through it twice, is essentially what it is. And Forge is badass, too. Forge is the whole, like, build your own level type thing, which they've had ever since, like, since part 3. I believe you could start building stuff, and it was super cool.
Well, Dave, we've give a gross injustice to what you've been playing. The segment that you love.
Yeah.
Your favorite segment of the show, and a segment that I love that came out of necessity because we used to start the show with what you've been playing.
That's
and
right.
We stopped, which is why, we epically fail. And we sort of still epically failed.
Oh,
because
whoa.
Dave,
Every episode.
Talking about couch co-op, or or co-op in general, we finally beat It Takes Two, and we didn't even talk about that game.
Wow, there you go. As a callback to a previous segment, that's very important. We did beat It Takes Two. Speaking of couch co-op, there you go. Or co-op online.
Yes.
Yeah.
That game, as a side note to Halo, which we will get back to, that game was phenomenal. I loved it.
That game is game of the year potential, Dan. Game of the year.
Yeah,
potential.
I love that game.
I think I put it up in the mix when we did our game of the half year. Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Great ending. We beat it. It had a lot of different genres inside of it, right?
Yeah.
And I was a little skeptical. I thought it would end on a different note, right? But it ended how it should have ended, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. It was a nice ending. It was a nice ending.
Yeah. So, all right. I just wanted to say
solid.
that you sort of brought it back to my attention when we talked about.
I totally forgot about it too. Yeah. Because we're like, oh, I don't know if we can beat this tonight, and I'm like, yeah, we can go ahead and beat this, and we just kept going, and we got there.
It took us another handful of hours.
Oh, we might beat it in 2 hours. Yeah.
It was more than 2 hours. It was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah. So I mean that co-op, online or couch, that goes a long way. People love it. I know people are upset. I'm upset. The Forge thing is not for everybody, but it is great to see what creations come out of that, even if you're not making your own levels. You can see what other people make and download and play those levels, and they're great. So, right? The community is strong.
So I don't think this is as big as I originally thought it was, right? Like, they're not launching with Forge again. Not that big of a deal, right?
Yeah,
and they're not
it'll
with campaign co-op. You still have any campaign,
right?
And multiplayer is going to be free to play anyway. So
I mean, the community's not going anywhere.
So you're paying $60-$70 for the campaign. So this better be an amazing campaign. By the way, which multiplayer maps, the home screen and story elements of the campaign have leaked, and people are seeing sort of it's the opposite of like The Last of Us Part 2, where like sort of story elements of the big twist of the game got out and people were horrified and pissed off, right? Which I'm not going to spoil. It's the opposite. Like, people are like, if that's the game, like, that's awesome, like, that's amazing. And I just don't want people to get their hopes up too much, right? Because for me, 343 has something to prove, because Halo 4 was good, and then Halo it was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't as good as Halo 3 or 2, right?
Yeah. Or
and
Reach.
Then Halo,
let's not forget Reach.
Yeah, and then Halo 5, people, I think the story was good. I don't think it was bad.
Halo 5 was
terrible.
Halo 5
I don't think it was trash.
Trash on the Dave scale. The conflict was.
I think it was okay on the Dave scale, but
the conflict was stupid.
It was stupid, but I don't think it was as bad. But it got progressively worse. Where 4 was okay, and then people didn't like 5. So
yeah,
I think they have something. Yeah. I think 343 have something to prove. So
100%. Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm super optimistic. I need to see it, right? Mm-hmm. So I just don't want people to get their hopes up thinking this is going to be fun. Now that if the leaks are true, which we don't know, and I'm not going to spoil. I haven't even been spoiled with it because I've tried not to see it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the multiplayer maps right now. These are definitely leaks from the game. They look official. I don't think anyone's going to be like upset looking at multiplayer maps. You can go look at them online if you want. The story, I'm with you. I don't want to look at the story either because I want to go in fresh.
I've ignored all story leaks, all story. Everybody talking about the story on YouTube. I've ignored all of that. But people are optimistic, saying if this is the catch of the game, this is going to be phenomenal. I just don't want them to get their hopes up too much because, again, I thought The Last of Us Part 2, I thought, obviously not trying to spoil it, but the hook of the game, right? The main hook of the game.
Yeah.
Yes, disappointing, I'm going to say. But they told it in a really good, they told a really good story, and they told it in a really, fun way, right? An emotional way. Mm-hmm. I don't want this to be the opposite, where you get your hopes up thinking, oh, the hook of the game is going to be this, and it's great, and then you play it, and then it's told in a really shitty way.
Well,
and then people think the game is even worse than it really is because they got their hopes up expecting a 10.
Right,
and it's really a 7, so they give it a 5.
Yeah, right? you want to temper expectations is essentially, I think, what it is. But the one thing we do know is that it's going to be open world. You can kind of do random missions in any order, and there's kind of like an overarching goal that you have to get to, so you can do all these like random things. I'm curious how that's going to play into everything. right? Because if there's like side stuff that you don't necessarily need to do, right, is that stuff going to be exciting? Is it going to be worth your time to do all that stuff? We don't know. We don't know. And, we don't want to have the hook spoiled. We won't spoil it for anybody because we don't want to be spoiled. But, yeah.
I'm going to try to ignore this as much as possible.
I'm curious because, like, I don't know. I'm just curious I'm curious what the big hook was.
I'm reading it now. Marcus Phoenix is now in Halo, and he's Master Chief. We didn't know this whole time.
Wow.
Marcus Phoenix.
So
we're getting the Gears of War Halo connection.
Spartan 117 wasn't really named John. He was really named Marcus. Changed his name.
Yes, he changed his name. He changed his whole identity.
Yeah, I would like to see where they take it because I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay. Oh no, sorry. I'm
reading the wrong story.
I'm reading the real story right now.
Okay.
His name is not really John. Mm-hmm. It's Josephine. It's just like Metroid. He's a woman. He identifies as a woman.
Wow. Well, she's got a really deep voice. I'll tell you that then.
Okay. I'm not looking at. I don't want to look at any of the leaks.
No. I mean, I peeked at the multiplayer maps because I thought that's fine.
I genuinely want to play the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask me personally, I think Ratchet and Clank is my game of the year pick.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I want to predict like Halo Infinite will be like the game of the year.
That's what I'm hoping, man. That's what I'm hoping.
I'm hoping for that too.
Mm-hmm.
So let's end the news. Let's end the news with. We started the show kind of with the digital future is coming, right? Like physical media is going away and digital future is coming. So is Skynet. Terminator is real. It's going to be real because Elon Musk will make it real as he introduced his Tesla humanoid robots that will be available next year.
Oh my God. They
will be 5'8", which is shorter than me because I'm 6'2.5".
Yeah.
They probably be like they were weigh like 125 pounds, and they probably be like $1 gajillion. But they're real. They're going to be
the Tesla vehicles are pretty affordable, to be fair. Like a Model 3 or whatever it is only like $30,000. Like the base level unit.
That's so Dave, crazy. tell me, a Tesla bot that's 5'8", 125 pounds. How much you think that's going to cost you?
Do you know a price that I don't know, or are you just you asking what I think it would, what I would pay for, saying, what it would
AI
cost?
For general purpose robotics, right? Multicam video, neutral net planning, auto labeling, simulation and tools, dojo training so it can whoop your ass.
I just don't know what it can do, so it's hard to say what it would cost, right? Because like I'm looking at the renders, and it looks like a human with like some cutout bits, like you're a cyberpunk dude. So I mean, obviously these are renders. I need to know what it can do. I can't give you a number, right? Because if you're gonna tell me it can walk around and do chores around the house, $100,000, right? Because it's like a Roomba on steroids, right? If it can do the dishes and put shit away and recognize like the room that you're in and all that, but I don't know. We have no clue what it can do. Hard to say. Now,
you know what I want it to do? You know what I want it to do?
I don't.
I'll buy the game if you can beat Bloodborne for me.
I was gonna say that. It's funny we're talking about robots right now. I don't know if you saw the recent video from Boston Dynamics, because they're doing like crazy stuff. They have the little dog robots, and they have ones that can open doors, ones that can recognize obstacles and get around them. And the latest video that they have is the two robots doing like basically American Ninja Warrior. right?
Nice.
Where you have to jump between the different angle platforms.
No, I haven't seen
doing
this.
like they're doing like the rings, and they end the whole entire thing. The robot does a backflip, like off an elevated platform. Boom, right? So those things, like, okay, I know what they can do. They could do some. They can do some crazy stuff.
Real. iRobot's real. It's coming. It's gonna be. It's gonna be the truth.
They look. Yeah, they
look like iRobot.
They look pretty crazy. Yeah, they don't really have like heads in the traditional sense, but they do have like a mounted camera sensor or whatever. But yeah, that's the crazy stuff, right? I don't know.
I just want to send them to space. They need to be on Mars. I'm sorry.
I don't know about this Elon Musk robot thing. I think he's got to focus on the underground tunnels and make that happen so we can get very fast travel.
Listen, screw the android, the androids. Make a flying car come true. We still can't fly cars.
Or that, yeah. Focus on one thing, right? You know.
Yes.
He's doing satellite internet. He's making cars. He's making lightspeed travel underground. Now he's doing robots. I mean, it's too much. It's too much, man.
All right.
I can't take it.
Dave, that's it for the news.
Mm-hmm.
We're heading towards the weekend. You got any good weekend plans?
We're heading towards the big store, man. I gotta go prep. I gotta get all my toilet paper and my can of beans.
Listen,
you know,
buy
my
the water.
My family pack of beans.
Buy water, buy toilet paper.
That's right.
And get your doomsday ready prepped for all of the wind that will hit your window. Because that's all it's going to be is wind.
All right. Listen. I'm just saying, we're recording this to tape. So we know come Sunday and Monday, if you don't have power, I'm not going to say I told you so, but.
You know what I'm going to be doing during the storm? I'm going to be playing Ghost of Tsushima, the director's cut.
I hope you have internet.
I'm going to have power. I don't need internet.
I really do.
Because I have the game.
I hope you have electricity. I'm going
to have electricity. You know why? Because it's just, it's okay.
All right,
okay,
we'll see.
Dave.
We'll see. So, all right, that is episode 285 in the books, folks. And we want to thank you guys for listening to the show, liking, commenting, doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. You can check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.